I never thought I would question a friendship that meant so much to me. We had known each other for years, long enough that people assumed we would always be part of each other's lives. She wasn't just a friend. She was the person I talked to when things didn't make sense, when life felt heavy, or when I needed someone to remind me who I was. At least, that's what I believed. We met years ago through mutual friends and clicked almost instantly. Conversations came easily. We talked about our fears, our goals, our pasts. She used to tell me she felt safe talking to me, that I understood her better than most people did. I took that seriously. I valued her trust, and I made sure I showed up every time she needed me. Whenever she had a bad day, I listened. When she fought with her family, I stayed on the phone until she felt calmer. When her relationships ended badly, I was the one who picked up the pieces, reminding her of her worth and helping her move forward. I never kept score. I thought that's what real friendship was. Over time, though, something started to feel off. Whenever she needed emotional support, advice, or reassurance, I was her first call. But when I needed the same, she was often unavailable. She would reply late. Sometimes she wouldn't reply at all. Plans would get postponed or canceled, usually because something better came up. I told myself not to overthink it. People get busy. Life happens. But it kept happening. I remember one specific moment when I was going through a really difficult period. Work stress, family pressure, and personal issues all hit at once. I reached out to her and asked if we could talk, even just for a few minutes. She said she was busy and promised to call me later. She never did. The next day, she messaged me like nothing had happened, talking about her own problems. I didn't say anything. I pushed my feelings aside like I always did. As months passed, I began to notice a pattern I couldn't ignore anymore. She was present when she needed comfort, validation, or someone to take her side. But when things were going well for her, I barely existed. I was the emotional safety net, not the priority. Eventually, I tried to talk to her about it. I was careful with my words. I told her I sometimes felt taken for granted, and that I missed feeling like the friendship was mutual. She laughed it off and said I was being too sensitive. She told me I was reading into things, and that friendships shouldn't feel like obligations. That conversation hurt more than I expected. After that, I stopped pushing my feelings down. I paid attention instead. I noticed how often she talked about herself and how rarely she asked about me. I noticed how quickly she disappeared once her problems were solved. I noticed how I always adjusted my schedule for her, but she rarely did the same for me. So, I made a quiet decision. I stopped reaching out first. I didn't announce it. I didn't give her an ultimatum. I just stepped back to see what would happen if I wasn't always available. Days went by, then weeks. She didn't notice. When she finally did reach out, it wasn't to ask how I was. It was because she was struggling again. She asked why I had been distant, and I told her the truth. I said I felt like I was only important when she needed emotional support, and that I was exhausted from always being the one who gave more. She didn't take it well. She said I was being unfair. She accused me of abandoning her. She said friendships shouldn't be transactional and that I was making everything about myself. When I asked her when the last time was that she had checked on me without needing something, she changed the subject. After that, things became awkward. Mutual friends told me she was hurt and confused. They said I should be more understanding, that she had a lot going on. No one asked how long I had felt invisible in that friendship. I didn't cut her off completely. I didn't block her or speak badly about her. I just created distance. I stopped being the person who always showed up no matter the cost. I focused on friendships where effort went both ways. She still believes I gave up on her. From her perspective, I disappeared when she needed me. From my perspective, I stayed longer than I should have. Now I'm left wondering if I did the right thing. Was I wrong for slowly stepping away instead of confronting her more aggressively? Should I have accepted that this was just how she was and stayed anyway? Or is it okay to walk away from a friendship that leaves you feeling drained and unimportant? So, AITA, for distancing myself from my closest female friend after realizing I was only important when she needed me?